So tonight we have a little bit of extra time to work on some trellises that we'll be needing for this year. I have some EMT conduit piping and all the connected pieces that come with it. You ready to help? Do that. We were able to manage to cut 2 pipes in half with my hacksaw. That wasn't the best tool to use, so I went and made our job a lot easier and got ourselves a very inexpensive $10 pipe cutter. You just, almost kind of like a vise, you just tighten it onto the pipe. This little blade, kind of like a can opener, just cuts through it. Kind of see it's cutting. There it went.
Now that the trellis piping was cut to size, these additional pieces were needed to assemble them together. Once complete, I gracefully transported them to the garden. Yeah, gracefully. These trellises are anchored by 4-foot-long rebar, which the conduit piping fits just right, with some acrobatics and persuasion on my part. An extra pair of hands is helpful.
I think that's it for now. So now that we have the structure in place, I'm now adding some, I don't know, what's twine or burlap twine or something to the trellis work. So I make some horizontal lines first, adding some knots in the end, and then I'll make some vertical lines. So I did this last year, and it takes a little bit of time. I had 2 trellises last year. I think this twine just lasts about 1 year. I'll wrap this around.
I started each line of twine with a 2-half hitch. Next, wrapped it around the middle post and secured the end with another hitch. The vertical lines were started at the top and wrapped once or twice around each horizontal. Trellises take advantage of vertical space, as demonstrated here, giving a place for vining plants to dwell instead of sprawled out all over the garden floor. Let's move on and see how those cabbages turned out.
So it's been a while since we've planted the cabbage, and over the spring and this early summer, they've been growing and getting bigger. All of them are almost about the same size. Ouch, Jada. Except this one's starting to put on a head, and this one too, I can feel them a little firm. But this guy, he's really ready to come on out. And yeah, we're gonna take it out and we're gonna eat it.
Eat it!
Yeah, we'll see how it tastes. But this is the first time I've grown cabbage, and so far so good. I mean, the timing I think was okay. It had a rough start. I didn't water the seedling enough, I think, when I transplanted it. Some of you have seen the footage of the dust just spilling out. It was really bad. So they had a bad start. They probably could have been bigger, but this is how good as it gets given the circumstances. So let's take a look at this cabbage, a little closer look, and we'll chop and take it out and harvest it, and we'll weigh it, see how much it weighs.
Yeah.
All right, good. So so far this is looking pretty good. Some of these leaves have taken a beating a little bit. There's some pest damage, but not too badly. What we can pull out of here. There you are. That's the cabbage.
Uh-oh, it fell on the ground.
That's okay. This part that's left, we'll take it out and put it where?
Compost.
We'll put it in the compost. But this is the final product. Here we have it.
A very close relative to the cabbage is collards. These started in the fall of 2014 and, being frost tolerant, survived the winter. By late March, triggered by warmer days, they bolted to begin the flowering stage. Beautiful yellow flowers covered the plants, attracting pollinators and catching the gardener's eye. Once pollinated, seed pods took the stage only a few weeks later, forming these almost green bean-looking pods, though smaller. After about 6 weeks from the first sign of seed pods, I noticed the first fruits were nearing completion, transforming from the full green look to a dry brown appearance.
Well, happy day before summer solstice, or summer solstice eve, eh? Well, right now I am about to harvest some sugar snap pea seeds, but just before I do that I want to give a brief update. Further outside of frame, I had collard plants, and actually this is what they look like now. Some of them are still not mature, but you can check it out. We got a bunch of seed pods. If I give it a little squeeze or a shake, all these really dry, brittle pods will just spring open and the seeds will just fly all over the place. So that's why I put them in a bag. Here, I'll shake it and you'll hear the seeds. Kind of like a rain-making musical instrument. You hear that? Yeah. I'll just give them a good shake and squeeze and just thrash them around, and and all the seeds will sink to the bottom. I did a little bit of this. I did a little bit of this last week, no, 2 weeks ago, with just one branch that I snipped off, and I'm gonna get a lot of seeds for that.
Indeed, I did. From 2 collard plants alone, I estimate I harvested about 800 to 900 seeds. It's mind-blowing, the return of investment and how generous nature is. To me, this was a great success. Surely I couldn't grow 900 plants next year given my limited space, but now I had a surplus of a single seed type which I could trade with fellow seed savers for other garden crops. I learned by experience the beginning lessons of seed saving, and what was a bonus that reinforced the excitement was that I could and did use them in future seasons. Well, that's it for now. What's growing in your garden? See you next time.